Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Tone, Liberian Public Radio. It's Friday, so why not? But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country, because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them, and because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. Doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying, those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders will be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est aussi vraiment encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas voulu quand il y a Sylvie il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse l'Amérique n'a pas voulu que t'as bien de moi avec en ce moment on va battre au moins néo on t'a dit t'as mon on s'est battu pour moi il pleure avec la locale
doing anything that people get to amend it. And with me from 2005 to date, we're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on a soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jobai, bivito inoba, artiste mo peyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou si tu connais tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebli, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les vieux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about 14 road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children to eat, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again this evening for listening and tuning in to LIBERIA Public Radio. Live again, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Thank you. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us back here together. My Lord, we ask you to continue to bless us, guide us, give us wisdom. My Lord, as we sit here again this evening, wash our tongue, guide our tongue, make sure what is ever coming out of our mouth tonight, that it will be for decent conversation. My Lord, guide our emotions. My Lord, bless us. Continue to protect us. Jesus, we ask you to bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. My Lord, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's get it going. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. This tonight program is all about Ambassador Baka and his pick. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say something differently than what I believe. I think Ambassador Baka, I want to thank him very much, as I stated the other day. It's his pick, it's his day, and we appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And we hope that Ambassador Baka and the new nominee will enjoy the time and make good use of the platform that has been given to him, specifically new platform that has been given to him specifically to the nominee, the vice president waiting, as he was called by Yeka Koluba. But I also quickly, I want to say that I want to piggyback on Yeka Koluba call to the vice president, to the ambassador, former vice president, and to the nominee himself. The nomination process for some of us were flawed as far as I'm concerned. However, though it was flawed in my opinion, but they're going to have to reach out to all of us. Whether I would like it or not, it has been done. It was a decision made by the ambassador, and the ambassador stands by his decision with respect. But we're asking now that the ambassador and the VP nominee will now take the opportunity to bring everybody on board. The VP need to say, though I'm still a bearer for Unity Party, but I'm still a bearer for all Liberians. Vote for me, because we're here to rescue If the VP and if Ambassador Baka and Senator Cohn are the real rescuer for all of us, they need to demonstrate that very quickly, very quickly, very quickly. They need to start making the wave. Don't wait until one week. Why? When you wait 1 week, you have people like Senator Johnson making some ridiculous statements that people will now try to hang on to every word he's saying, because people believe, truly believe, that Senator Johnson is the de facto VP nominee, which I don't believe. But I think I stated it last time, and I will say it again. I believe strongly that the VP and the nominee himself need to come out and call upon all Liberians to support this ticket. The Ambassador Baka owes nobody explanation as to why he made that pick. That was his gut feelings. I'm sure he must have consulted with close relatives who believes in him more than us, who know him more than us. And as a result, he also believed in their opinion. And I'm sure there was some serious discussion, lengthy discussion. It wasn't an overnight pick. And so we're not asking for explanation. All that I'm saying to the good ambassador, the stabilizers, as I always call him, it is time to demonstrate, truly demonstrate that yes, indeed, not only do you have the experience in terms of leadership, not only do you have the experience in terms of organization process, not only do you have the experience in terms of governance, but that you also the father of the nation. And so I say to Ambassador Baka and to Senator Cohn, you guys need to have a game plan in place where you will now come out to every one of us, whether we're happy or not, it really doesn't matter at this point. But that you, Ambassador Baka, should lead now. Tell us where you want us to go and we will follow. You cannot sit down at this time. You cannot sit down at this time and you allow people to write. This is unacceptable. You know the game. You've been in this game for so long. Not only are you a good player, but you're also a good coach. Demonstrate that to the people. Ambassador Baka, all that I'm saying is, if this is not carried out faithfully and honestly, this most likely will be a flap. And I'm just saying this here without any reservation whatsoever. I don't know you, you don't know me, but I admire you. And for the last 2+ years, I've been saying it, that you are the stabilizer. Don't make me shame. Don't make me shame. Demonstrate that to us. Don't ask me how. This is time to show that you, a stabilizer and the rescuer, quite different from the present government. This need to be said quickly. Put everybody at ease. Quickly, Ambassador Baka. Quickly. Don't sit down. Because people are writing. People are on social media. And whether you believe it or not, these writing, most of them might not be in your favor, and it might dissuade people one way or the other. And I'll go through some of them here tonight. But before I go on reading these writings, I want to clearly state here tonight, Ambassador Barker, to you specifically, tell us where to go. Lead us. We will follow you. You cannot sit down and expect us to guess which way you're going, whether we support you or not, whether we will vote for you or not. Show us the leadership ability that all of us know that you have. There's no more car parking in the garage. This car got so much gas in it, it cannot be packed. This car has so much gas in it that the wheels are turning before you can even step the pedal. Ambassador Barker, please don't sit down. Get up. Show, just all you need to do is show us the way and we will follow. Show the way and we will follow. And before that again, let me say this. The pig was not welcome all over. There were some people that were not quite on board with this. That is okay. This is where you're going to have to demonstrate that you do have the ability to bring people back, that you do have the ability to bring people around, that you have been doing this thing ever since 19 we. You've been bringing people around. Ambassador Wakai, this is my opening line to you this evening. I'm asking. In fact, I'm begging for you to lead the way and we will follow. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. This is a message to the stabilizer, Ambassador Wakai, whom I believe has the ability to stabilize. And so I'm saying to all of us, let's be patient. I want to thank all of you. Many of us that were not quite happy the way the thing went down. And I'm not gonna, even in as much I don't know them, they don't know me. I never met Ambassador Barker before. I've never even spoken to him before. He doesn't know who I am, doesn't even know that I exist. But I admire him as a Liberian. And because of that, I want to say that because of that, I admire him and I will be truthful. You see, the fact that I admire Ambassador Barker and they don't know me, I'm in a unique place where if I see something that is not right, I will speak my mind because I have nothing to be afraid of. What are they going to say? We don't want to talk to you anymore. They don't even know me. They don't even talk to me. What are they going to say? We don't know you anymore. Don't come around because I don't go around there anyway. They don't know me. So I'm in a unique position. At the same time, I will show my admiration for the ambassador to say this person because I believe that he has a leadership ability and I believe he can rescue this country. I believe that he can stabilize this ship. But at the same time, I'm not going to be a praise singer. And this is where I'm coming from. So I'm in a unique position, folks. I'm in a unique position. I say, Ambassador, he doesn't even know me. What do you say? Something told, don't come on me again. I don't want to talk to you again. You can't say that. You know me. You know me, when I go to Liberia, I don't even, I pass by a house several times, but I don't stop there because they don't know me. I don't want to go to jail. So I said, what are you going to say? But I want to be truthful. So let me go into what was written on Front Page Africa. Okay. This was what was written. And what was written on Front Page Africa, brothers and sisters, it doesn't bode well if you want to hang your hat on the decision-making process of Ambassador BOAKAI. If you want to hang your hat on loyalty, that they should say the loyalty goes two ways. If you want to hang your hat on Ambassador BOAKAI to be respectful to the system, to the process, then what was written on Front Page Africa today will not give you a boost at all. In fact, if you don't know what this is, if you don't know that Ambassador BOAKAI is a man of himself and has a right, if you don't believe in those things, then you'll be despaired. But if you know this is Liberia and this is Liberian politics, then it is. Because what was written here today on Front Page Africa is something, sometimes I come out here on my own show and I say it. Like I say, let me just say this again. I owe nobody loyalty. I admire the ambassador and I will do everything possible to campaign, but I will be truthful. And if I see President, we are doing something good, I will say it. What are you going to do to me? Nothing. Nothing. My ain't thinking about you ain't thinking about what you do. Nothing. Nothing. But as long as I know deep inside of me and my God that what I'm saying, I believe in it. And I believe that I'm not saying it because of hate. And I believe that I'm not saying it because of envious. And I believe I'm not saying it because of all the jealousy that comes with that. Then I'm pleased. I'm pleased with myself. I've been saying this, and I even asked Kumi this question. I believe what happened with Honorable Kumi here at the time of the CPP or whatever they have, COP or whatever they call themselves, I believe Honorable Kumi left Liberia at a young age and never got involved into Liberian politics. And so when he got in it, he was so much trustworthy, trustful to the people around him. He decided to trust them. And they pepper him, Liberian politics. Well, here's the thing here the Crown people say. When you go in the bush, it's a big log when you go there. Because most of the time when I used to go hunting with dog now, Samson too. When you see the big log, it had a hollow, it had a hole in it. First thing you bend down, look inside. Before you send your dog, then you don't just go and send your dog. Then you look inside. But the Crown people had a problem to say. If you bend down, look in that tree, that's something in that tree also looking inside you. I was on the same platform when it was time to crown Ambassador BOAKAI. They wanted Kumi to be there. And Kumi asked, I simply said Kumi shouldn't go, and he didn't. He don't know me either. Well, he know me now. By that time, he didn't know who I was. But the point was, what Kumi is vying for the standard bearership for CPP. Ambassador BOAKAI is also, then you want him to come to be there. Why you're crowning Ambassador BOAKAI? What sense does it make? And I thought by displaying that kinds of attitude, I thought all of those involved, including my own sister, were being very deceitful. Including Ambassador BOAKAI was being very deceitful, were not being truthful. And I was on here making that statement. And I also believe when Honorable Kumi got involved with these people, he trusted them. But in Liberian politics, just like in Russia, Trust, but verify. He didn't verify. And they pepper him. I laugh now, but these are things that's going on in our LIBERIA political, whatever it is. Okay? And so let me go back to what I'm saying here tonight. If you look at these things, if you look at what's happening here with the pick of Senator Jeremiah Cohn, whom I also believe do have a leadership ability. And here's what I'm coming from. I don't know him either. He doesn't even know me. But this is what I'm saying here, okay? Jeremiah Cohn, senator for Nima County. I've been around for a very long time. If I start naming some of the Nima people, some of the late Nima people that I know, you would think say I Nima man myself. But I've been around. Some of the big Nima politicians that passed, I've been around. Some of the Nima radicals, I've been around. Like I said, I've been around. But I'm not going to go into that right now. The point that I want to make here is this. Nima County is not a slush. Nima County is not like some of the other counties. You can't push them around. Number one, they're highly educated, many of them. Many of them. Highly educated, highly political. Nima County. If you don't know your history, go deeper. In fact, there will be other people that will argue very strongly to say most of the issues in Liberia politically involve many of them Nibadians. They don't like anybody to push them around. Nobody. I grew up in Nima County. I grew up in Bapa. So I know. Where Sunday afternoon, they will go and have a wrestling match. Don't fool around. You don't fool around. They just pick up your toe, blue, you fall down. I say I watched them. But here's the point that I'm making about Nima. Nima County, those days, when PhD business was just coming to Liberia, in our Liberian country community, Nima County, I believe, was leading. I could be wrong. But many of the people, you would say PhD this, PhD that, Nima. But for me, I call it, and I've always saying this, so I will say again here tonight, as far as education is concerned, that Cape Man, as far as my belief, Samson to Cape Man number 1, Lofa number 2, Nima number 3, in terms of intellectual level. And people will disagree with me. That's okay. I don't care. That's my belief. But the point here is this. Jeremiah Cohn is not an older person. He's a young man. And according to the story, he's also a hard worker. According to the story, he's a good businessman, make good business decisions. But that's not all. To sit among Nibadians, and say, I want to be senator as young as he is, and to be able to run a campaign. In fact, during the campaign, there was other people saying he was not even a Nibadian. But to convince Nima County to elect you, educated group, to say, yes, we want you to be our senator, you have to be at the top of your game. So Jeremiah Cohn is not a slush. Any, especially CDC, and you're listening to me, you're going to fool around with a ticket. You're going to be able, I don't say I can't criticize you, but you're going to be able to do your own work. If you want to criticize the ticket, if you want to bring up issues that you think will be genuine for us to, I don't talk about other you want to that pure, you want to talk about going your own CDC corner and south and talk about that nonsense you want to talk about. But I mean genuine intellectual discussion about the nominee. You got to do your homework. If you don't, you will get burned. Okay? Yeah, I say so, sister. That's my belief. I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to it. And don't make me to start saying why I believe Cape Mount is number one as far as I'm concerned. But please, we're not gonna go there. That's what I believe. That's what I'm making point. I'm making my point here. But anyway, let's go on. And sister, you're pushing me. Let me just give you a little bit of background. I grew up in a barracks. Young man, very young. 70, I was what, whatever. Young man. I went to, they have a school over there at the Central Prison, JAR school, they call it. I went there briefly, then I went to GW Gacy. When I started going to GW Gacy, I was living in the barracks, like I said. And most of the young men, parents were selling, just like my mom, at the Baker Market right across the street from the barracks. Most of them were loafer kids. Yeah, mom in setting, but they were at LU. They were not playing with broke business. In fact, there's a saying in the barracks that loafer people got broke medicine. Until one young man told us one time, he said, how will we get broke medicine? All of us here, when we finish playing ball, I go home, I put my phone in the bucket. I study. In the same barracks, we have other young people from Cape Mount. And Cape Mount, and this explanation specifically for you. The explanation specifically for you. Yeah, wow. The explanation specifically for you. So I live in the barracks as well. So Cape Mount, they invite people, those that I know from the barracks. But the point was, whenever we go to play football on a field, the barracks at that time, they have a big field in the middle of it. And the grass will grow. What the army people practice that, I say they're doing war, whatever it is, they practice that so the grass grows. But in the night, we go and play in the grass. For volleyball, then they're not like that. They come, the building in front, what they can do, the eye right and thing like got something like that. Volleyball then goes when we're playing or when we're fighting, volleyball then sitting down steady. So that's how I rank them. But there's more to that. But I'm not gonna go deep into it. But anyhow, that's my belief. I'm entitled to it. You don't have to watch me. Because I'm watching this stuff, if you don't know how to control your emotion, then you will be taken out. Because we can't have that. You should be man enough. You should be able to have the ability to compartmentalize. And if you're limited in terms of your ability to listen, then we will block you. Because then you don't want to be part of the conversation. You don't have to agree with me. All you have to do is just click you off. But let me go on. So, sister, that explanation, this is how but there are many more why I have that kinds of belief. But you and I will be on one-on-one. But then, let me go back to Ambassador Bakar and the nominee. So, for this nominee to be elected in the hub of education in Nima County, you can't tell me because of the war, so all the educated Nimadian died. No. In fact, 2 years ago, when Nima County won the county meet, they are number 5. He's a civil engineer playing football in Monrovia. Civil engineer. They are number 5. I met him. So they're not play. They don't play around with book business anyway. So, but anyhow, let me go back. So, CDC, this is free advice. I'm not asking you to pay me anything. Don't give me 5 cents. No, I don't want your money. Keep your money. But it's a free advice. If you're going to come out and you must critique and find out who is this new nominee, do yourself a favor. do some serious research. Don't come out here and make these kind of foolish pronouncement and you think I'm going to come and amplify your foolishness. I'm not going to do that. You say some intellectual, something that an intellectual can grab on, I will amplify. Let me go back. So let's go on. Whatever. Okay. That's fine. Bring it. I admire that, Frederick. If that's the case, bring it to the public and we'll discuss that, my brother. We will discuss that. But let me go on. Hey, you too, but let me call my son. Gideon, bring my alcohol, bring my King June's here. Let me drink. The people say I'm drunk. Bring my King June. Let me drink some more. These are people that are very, very limited. They got no clue. But anyway, let me go on. Let me go on. So the point here tonight is this. Ambassador BOAKAI, and like I said, he has to do better than sitting tight. At this time, you already made that announcement. There's no reason. So how can I see? There's no reason for you to take a vacation. So let me read something here. It says here, this is from Front Page Africa. Much ado about BOAKAI'S VP picked. That's the Front Page Africa. But this is what I want to read here. Okay. These people believe that this whole thing here is with Senator Johnson influence. And this is why I want Ambassador BOAKAI to take the lead and stay in front of this thing. He doesn't have to answer to everything. But don't leave room for people to improvise, to make up stories, and then you expect the surrogates to try to disabuse the rest of the Liberians. It's something you have to take the lead, and then we will pick out the words, your language you're going to use to describe certain things. We'll pick them up and blow them out. But you don't expect us to come and say, this is what I think, Ambassador BOAKAI. This is what I think. No. You put it out there, and then we will try to take those language, the wording that are going to be able to, that you will use to describe something, and we will take those wording and try to expand on them. I'm just telling you how it's supposed to work. So let me go on. Here's the thing here about this stuff here and I'm not going to read everything. They said the play began to gradually unfold when MDR announced that Kuhn will be contesting the presidency in 2023. Prior to Kuhn's endorsement as standard bearer, the opposition committee, listen now, the opposition committee was already fighting to remain united with the formation of a collaborating political party, of which Kuhn and MDR were never part of the formation. They were never part of the formation. But let me go on. Even with the CPP started to disintegrate, constituents, members of the CPP were still in close contact, pointing to the possibility of collaboration among at least three of the opposition. So hold on. Okay, something was falling out, and I don't want you to see me catching, grabbing something in there. But anyhow, the Unity Party, Liberty Party, and the All Liberian Party all kept some close link to Kabul. But here's the thing: strongly, they said, strangely and very late after Johnson took to the podium to preach. That was about 2 weeks ago. Following the visit, Johnson took to the podium to preach. He then, I'm just not reading, I'm just saying it now. He went to visit Ambassador BOAKAI. That means Prince Johnson went to visit Ambassador BOAKAI. Following the visit, political all over the place started to changing with news that Prince Johnson is going to visit a meeting between Kun and Ambassador BOAKAI. Okay. But the meeting here, and I want you to read, I don't want to read it for you tonight. I want you to read it. I want you to read it. The meeting here that come out of this thing here is this, that Prince Johnson would not be himself, Jeremiah Kun would not be the real vice presidential candidate, and if they win, would not be the real vice president, it will be Prince Johnson. And if you go down, let me read some of the voters. It's a boost to Nima County, but let me read some of the voters. He, however, expressed disappointment. This is one of the voters now. Let me go to McLean of the receiver, blah, blah. But however, this expressed disappointment that such ticket would shut the door on the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. How now the man who hand Prince Johnson held in the air. There's a picture going around. He has his hand over here, anointing him. How do you expect us to see Ambassador BOAKAI? To know and believe that he will now, under his leadership, there will be a war crime and economic court established in Liberia under his watch. And of course, Prince Johnson been on the air as well, saying that they should bring it. He's not afraid. But in the process of that, Prince Johnson made some ridiculous statements. And if we follow that, we're all going to go into the rabbit hole, and we might not be able to get out of it very quickly before the election. So those kinds of statements, I'm not going to respond to them here tonight. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clue them out. I'm going to make copies of them and cut them into pieces, and I'll play them here. But I'm giving the ambassador and Senator Kun an opportunity. If they take the lead, then many of the noise that are coming from Prince Johnson will be drummed up by the leadership ability from Ambassador BOAKAI and Senator Kun. If they're going around telling people, this is what we want to do for you. This is what some of the things that we know we will do the first 100 days in office. And if those things that they're going to name, Liberian people believe those things, then the noise Prince Johnson is making will be drummed out completely. But if they remain quiet to this Monday, I haven't heard anything yet. That's fine. It just happened Friday. That's fine. It's something out there I have not seen it. I say I have not seen it. So we'll give them time. We'll give them time. And I also want to send this out to many of the opposition as well. This is, I'll be very careful here. All of us involved in these things have to be careful what we say about each other, including things you say about President Weah. He's the president of the Republic of Liberia. He's a Liberian. And we cannot continue on this route of degrading, insulting people because we don't agree with them. That is unacceptable. The only people you do that is somebody that was writing here earlier, people who are limited. If I was on here and I don't agree with me, I will write something to show my disagreement respectfully, not insult. I won't insult when I got nothing to say. I don't even know what to say. Then I will insult because I insult I know. Yeka Kolobas told the ambassador, calling him uncle, you got to bring everybody around. And told the vice president, the nominee, to say you guys have to work and bring everybody around. We need the vote of all Liberians. And Yeka Kolobas he's not dumb, very smart. Because he knows these people, the CDC have the war chest, they have the money. They have the money. Look at another thing here that just happened here, I think today or so. President, we have replaced this guy who they saw at Ambassador BOAKAI'S gathering. Because I believe they say he was a minister of whatever post or whatever they call it. He got canned and replaced. The president have the right to do that. Whatever he believe in, that's fine. But to do it like that, to be that kinds of vindictive, this is what I thought President Weah would have been above that. So what? Let him go and see. You put yourself in no kind of position, and you make this man and the people who invited him make them look small. But now, by firing him, you that is the same thing he did with you know who. Okay? But then again, the president has the right to do that. He can say who he wants and who he doesn't want. But even if you're going to get rid of this guy, it shouldn't be because you have people in your circle who are calling for the dismissals of this guy. And it happens. So, President, the question is, are you your own man? Are you your own? Are you president of the Republic of Liberia? I believe so. But when you show these kinds of things, then they make people to wonder as to whether you're able to make this decision on your own. But that's not what I'm going to be talking about more. Okay? So the point here again is this. When you if go on Front Page Africa and read this article, folks. Prince Johnson, his connection to this ticket, it doesn't bode well for all of us. The only good thing we got on our side, CDC don't know how to handle it. And they always putting their foot in their own mouth, just like the day here firing our young man, firing our man. When they always put when they get something good going their way, if President Weah have good people to advise him, you don't dismiss man like that. You ignore him, and you deal with the deputy. You don't even deal with the man. You deal with his deputy secretly or even publicly. You deal with his deputy. He stay there. He get paid. That's fine. But you deal with his deputy. Sooner or later, if he's not getting the kind of support that he's supposed to get from the administration, he will get the message and he say, "I'm out of here." You didn't fire him. Because if the president have the right to say the man is supposed to be in my government, then go into the opposition political. But who's done those things? Who have seen that before? I don't know. But so the president have to remove him. That's fine. But to do it like that, it's too vindictive. And CDC, they don't know how to handle these things. You put good food on CDC plate, they put their food in their mouth. And that's exactly what happened here. But that's not the issue, though. That's not the issue. The point here is this. This picked. You think the international community is stupid? Ambassador BOAKAI'S needs to come out. And that statement he made during the nomination process to say the man is not a sinless, That's not enough. That is not enough. That is not enough. This is the time, Ambassador Waka, to come out to say this is the time for generational change. That is the word Madam Sally used. This is the time you're going to use that again. However, you say, we will be in the front to show the young people the correct way. Ambassador Waka, you got everything going. Then you tell them, you don't believe me? Yes, the other young man who used to play football 10 years ago, at the best, one of the best in the world. And we brought him thinking that what he did for the football community, that he will be able to do it for the Liberian community here in this country, and was given the opportunity. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? And so, my people, this young man that I've selected, smart, but I'm not going to let them go all by themselves. We are here to guide. And we are only here to guide. When we get to a place where we know this thing has been stabilized, we will let the young people run this thing the way they need to run it. But by then, the structure will be put in place. But you're sitting down, you're saying nothing. 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 And people at Front Page Africa, they're writing. They're writing. And now, when you come back the next time, 2 or 3 articles have been written, and then you will now try to defend. Before you look, you're defending the whole time. Instead of people to defend against you, you become a defender. And ask anybody that plays sport, defending is not an easy thing, because you're always going back. You're always on your back foot. That's defending. I'd rather go in front than to go back. And if you're a defender, that's not you tell everybody start running toward your goal or whatever, you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side. Because here's the thing, you're running back there, get the ball, then you're gonna have to run a couple, you get tired quickly. And so I'm saying, Ambassador Waka, you need to be ahead of these things. Other political, other newspaper will be writing. Tomorrow there'll be a new one. There'll be a new one. Selecting this young man, make the young Liberians, even those who are not in support of your candidacy, to be proud of you. Not to take you as a greedy old man just want to stay in power by all means. No. But that you're giving young people the opportunity. That's all you're trying to do here. But it has to be explained. You must be able to explain. Let me send it out and see if Mr. Joyce and Mr. Goya Sise will be able to join me here. Let me send it out quickly. If they're in a position to join me, I will appreciate it. If not, we can carry on. Folks, this is a serious business. This is a serious business. We can't have this country, this beautiful country of ours. Yeah. What? So now when you think about it, living here in the United States and every day you're getting old. So now you think about it, you say, how wicked can we be towards each other? How wicked can we be towards each other? Look at the city of Monrovia. You want to tell me we don't have the ability to do that? To make the city beautiful? They have a place over there on Dew River. They call it Trash Island. It's a big pile of trash. That means it went all the way to the bottom. It's stuck up, coming up. So it become an island, Trash Island in Monrovia. Go to Slipway. You can't move. Why are we wicked to ourselves like that? To drive from behind the bridge, from Town to Freeport. The Paho say yummy. The Paho say yummy. What is it? Can we not do these things? You go and hire foreigners. You hire foreigners to do road design for us. To do road design for us. You think they're coming to come and do it with the good assessment, environmental assessment, so that people would no, they're there to make money. You refuse to bring Liberians into this. And the few Liberians that are involved are only there to make the money and come here in the United States. You go, and then it's not just this government, my people. In fact, earlier it was worse. It was worse. Because their intent was to make the money and come here and buy houses. At least over there, like the Punkipan said, we get it. Even if we're stealing, we're building here. Unlike the other people. So why are we so wicked like that to each other? Look at common traffic. You mean we don't have the ability to change things? Any government leave right now, another government going, the same thing. Nothing gonna change much. The only thing gonna change is who's eating now. Who's eating now? And the current VP to us is our time. Our time now too. That time business. This is something that we all have to think about. Why must we suffer like this as Liberians? For what reason? For what reason? This is the question we have of all of us, folks, all of us. And right now, here's a sad thing here. If America were to open the door right now and saying like, bro, all the educated, the so-called educated Liberian, yeah, they shape here, our country will be empty. All the ministers, yeah, they shape here, we're taking that country will be empty. Many of the young Liberians, they don't want to stay in that country. What is there? What is there? What is there? What is there for the children to want to stay? Want to stay for what? Want to stay for what? So the only reason they want to stay, those who are sophisticated, will allow the politician to use them so they can get little stuff. Okay? To get little stuff. And they get it, they move on. The reason I'm saying this is this. I'm in a class right now. And it's a 20 hours class. But you on your own, you're reading everything. You'll be taking tests at the end of every module. So, but the thing about it is, the thing that people are explaining to me, same kinds of situation, road design situation, all over, same thing. In fact, Liberia, we're suffering here in this country. The thing that people did way back in the 50s, The safety procedures those days are no longer available to the new cars that have on the roads. So now new safety feature going to come up to match the new car ability to move around safely. But in Liberia, we're still keeping the condition of the 50s, but expect to use 2003 car on those roads. And we're proud of that. We got people digging everywhere. They call it construction. They're building stores. They're building market buildings with no parking stores. You go to get food from the store, you even get a place to park. In an area that is supposed to be residential, you see it, you think that that's commercial area. No zoning. In this day and age, where people at Samson told them can read a little bit now. Can you imagine how many young Liberians that are educated now? Can you imagine how many young Liberians that are able to do these kinds of work? But what do? And the next government coming, the same thing. Everyone, including Anthony Cassidy, they're all jockeying for position. Anthony Cassidy, when you hear me say, coming, see and come and defend yourself. Everybody, they're jockeying for position. They're jockeying for position. You not see Anthony Cassidy posting lately? Everybody joking for position. So as soon as Ambassador Waka win, they get the position. You would think as smart, as educated, intellectual person like Anthony Cassidy would try to make rounds and try to bring some proposals and try to have these young people to discuss the proposal that perhaps when Ambassador Waka wins, because he, Anthony Cassidy, most likely will be part of that. These are things that he, Anthony Cassidy, will be putting out for Ambassador Waka to be able to implement. Where are the policy process that you guys have? So the fact that you're not able to discuss these policy with us, that means you got nothing. We'll be inside for a long time. When I was growing up in Zwadru, that would be Grand Gida County, if you don't mind. They have an area called AG Mission. They got plum trees. And their grass, make the maintain. People, the grass cut nicely, all green. Down the hill from the AG Mission, we got a little bush down the hill. That's where we were living. So if I want good plum, I gotta go up the hill, go to AG Mission, and ask the people for good plum. Even when the plum fall down, the way it fall down the grass, it still sound good. Yeah, pet. But the other places, when the plum fall down, yeah, move. Because that's so dry ground. Why? Now, up to this time, you go to that place right now. The AG Mission is not the way it was now. I mean, not the way it was then. It's different now. All change. You mean if we were unable to put ourselves in a position, what a beautiful land we have. You look at the roads, simple road condition. We got to go out of the country to get experts. We got Liberian experts, young Liberian, highly educated experts that can go and help you guys. But so jealousy follow you in our Liberia. So jealousy follow your stomach. You want bring you want everybody bring you out and then you tell you want to take your job. Instead of look at those senators then. How many of those senators that are lacing with young Liberians here in the United States or all over the world that have these expertise in the different area? You would think these senators will call how the heck in Liberia that you will make close to $10,000, if not more, in Liberia. You live in Liberia, but you want to live like somebody living in America. That now wickedness there. How you think you'll move the thing and you'll make the country better? You live in Liberia. You live in Liberia, but you want to make the same amount of money people making here in the United States. We're here in the United States, mortgage, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. So if the person making $17,000, $18,000, $20,000 a month, that's a lot. He still be able to pay his mortgage. In Liberia, $150,000 bill, your beautiful house, you're done. No more mortgage. But you still want to maintain the salary. And so when the money is not the way you do, then you start going around taking money from the hospitals. What kinds of wickedness is that? You can call about telling us the other day. He said, I've been telling you, we the lawmaker that we can steal. How you think we will move forward? We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. Somebody live in Liberia. So let's look at the living condition in Liberia a little bit. I've been in Liberia recently. So let's look at the living condition. Like I said, you spend $250,000, you buy yourself a decent house. You spend another $50,000, you have good plumbing, good generator, everything. You're not paying light bill. You're not paying water bill. You're not paying mortgage. But you want to make $15,000 a month. So what the $15,000 a month? What are you going to do in that? What are you going to do? But all of these people, their kids are not even in Liberia struggling to go to school. Many of them, the kids are overseas going to school. And this is what I've been saying to many of our brothers and sisters. These people you put in office, their children will come back and rule your children. And they will still be able to maintain that kind of lifestyle, send their children, and they will come back and rule your children. When is this thing going to stop? Unless among these young Liberians, somebody will stand up, say enough is enough. Enough is enough. We were now ready to change. Cece Goya and Mr. Joyce, if you guys have the opportunity to join me, I will appreciate it. I send you guys the stuff in already. I've not seen Mr. Joyce yet. So where are we? Where are we? Where are we? I have Anthony Cassady here the last time. The guy is smart, highly educated, good policy person too. But Anthony Cassady can't show us now what are some of the policy help or policy process or policy stuff you have for Ambassador Baka. So in case you get called upon, which definitely they will call you. Can share some of it with us. Or you think you share with us, then CDC will take it? So if CDC take that policy and implement that in Liberia for Liberian people to live well, then what's wrong with that? But the wickedness in our country is not going to stop just now. It's not going to stop just now. Here's another thing I'm saying. Sometimes I get angry, but I have to try and be civil. Right now, some of us got family members, got kids in Liberia, but they can't even find a job. And that's why when I used to pray, and I need to go back to that prayer again. Lord, my Lord, I would say, bless us to continue to maintain two tables. We got one table here in the United States. We got another table back home that we got to put food on. Why? Why? These people that get in these big cars. We know all tinted window. They can't see you. You can't see them. They can see you. They can see you, but you can't see them. They go to the villages. Oh, you put me in office. I will do this. I will do that. I will do this. the guy elected. They don't even come. Some of these villages, they talk. Some of the areas, they don't even have offices. So how do you expect they live in Monrovia, but they're representing counties all over the country? But they live in Monrovia. They don't even get offices in any of the many of the counties or districts that is supposed to be represented. But our people keep sending there over and over. Sending there. That's okay. That's okay. The only thing that is not okay is those of us that keep talking these things, we're connected. And so what the pain is, look at, yeah. I wish there's a way that I can, let me see if I can show you, people knew it not come up, but I want to show you something here. This is the same way, huh? Okay. There's a way when you go the same way. Here we go. Here we go. You see this? Let me scroll that same way. That same way. That more and few days ago. Today is the first one. That same way. Now watch. You see it going? Oh, it's going too fast, eh? You see it? 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 Ain't you see it going up? Ain't you see it going up? Ain't you see it? Okay, let me bring it back down. Okay. Boom. It's still running. Infinite. Boom. Infinite. Boom. Infinite. Okay, infinite. But I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Many of you, what I just did here, many of you look at the same way of Money Grant, you will see the same thing. Monja Eo. Today is the first. We're sending money for school fees. We're sending money. If you send money for school fee, some of us send money for school fee. Some of us send money to what, because the people you sending to school, they gotta live in Monroe. So you're renting a whole house. Some of us doing these things. And now if you have a girl that you're helping, your niece or your whatever sister, whatever it is, but you're helping her. Okay? She's still in high school. Or at whatever school she's in, but you're paying the place where she's gonna have to stay. You also have to help her with everything because she's not working. They can't get it, and so we're still connected. But here's the thing here: some of us are getting a little bit older now. We're getting ready to get off the stage. So what happened? The situation continues, not changing because we don't have far-sighted Liberians. They say, one day they milk that keep coming for us to drink. One day they milk bottle will break. Oh, my people, you're not post-strong. Get people, officers that will think about us and not about themselves. Because one day many of us will no longer. Because if I retire, you think I will do this some way? Start just show you with my retirement money. Then I say, what I will enjoy myself small now? Eh? My son, forget about my son because he was born here. There's my other son, was 10 years old when I brought him here. Right now, when you call him, right now, you talk to him, that's so serious. He can't even speak crying again. He's not connected. He's not. My other son, he's here also. He's not connected. Because I talk about the country so much, helping family members. Bro, you cut off from me. Hey, you're on your own there. I got things to do. I got my wife. I got my kids. I can't be supporting people that I don't even know them, he says. So right now, when I call him right now, if I just don't want to call, but when I call him right now, you will not even answer because you'll see my name. You will not answer. And so once we're disconnected, we're no longer able to help. The needs are still going to be there. The suffering that will come will not be easy. Because the leaders refuse to see the real truth. When we say, please help us to manage this country, it's not because we hate you, but we're saying to you, the life of Liberian, of all of us, is very important. So we're asking you to do the best you can. But what do? You live in Liberia and you're making $15,000 a month. What are you going to do with that money? You've been in office now going to almost 16 years or so, or even more. Why are we wicked to each other, to ourselves, and to each other like that? For what reason? For what reason? What exactly are we trying to do in our country? When it rains, our mind, pardon, because many of those people working in offices, in the government offices, now they're from the countryside, my people. We're not going to hide it anymore. Many of them are from the countryside. So when it rains, their mom, pa, their cousin, uncle, and the money of them don't go anywhere. Hey, my son, I want to see you, but I can't do it because it's raining. You think that you would think, say, okay, that means I sending you a plane ticket so you can go. The owner will say, no, I want rap plane. I can't rap plane from Edo Moray, I beg you. No roads. No roads. Let me bring in Mr. Josh, who's going to help me and carry these things on. Mr. George, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. I'm a little bit. Some guy said, "Yeah, I've been drinking King Juice all night," So he said I'm drunk, but that's okay with me. Mr. George, before I go on, I was begging. I was just catching 2 points. I was begging Ambassador BOAKAI and the nominee, Senator Kuhn, to reach out to all of us. I was begging them to reach out to all of us and demonstrate the ability to lead by connecting and bringing everybody on board. Is that a wrong idea?
Well, they didn't say it, but I know Mr. Comey gave a speech today where he called on every Liberians to join him to lead Liberia. BOAKAI didn't have the strategy. They didn't call on Liberians. That was a perfect occasion to use that to extend a helping hand to every Liberian to join them. But they did not even mention that. But I'm glad that Mr. Comey gave a speech today where he called on Liberians to join him to move Liberia forward.
Okay. So I'm hoping that Ambassador BOAKAI and Kuhn will do the same thing. Another thing I'm also on now is that well, before I move on to that, the fact that Prince Johnson, people connect this selections of Kuhn with Prince Johnson, connecting it with Prince Johnson, and with that, the people are also suggesting that, according to some of the writing on Front Page Africa, that Prince Johnson will be pretty much de facto vice president, playing the vice president once it becomes real and be elected. What do you make of those statements?
Look, let me say this. One, Ambassador BOAKAI has the right to nominate anybody that he running mate. That is right according to the party. That was the right they say he had, and he went ahead to play it. But the reality on the ground, when Mr. BOAKAI says that people will be accountable for atrocity the election committed against the Liberian people, it was the same folks from Unity Party who are bashing the ANC that they have taken Louis Brown. And Louis Brown's crime is that he worked for Charles Taylor. He worked for he worked for George Weah, but they said that was a crime to work for Charles Taylor. People have said Louis Brown fought. And I said, Mr. Comey, I said constantly that if anybody connected to this, to the ANC or whatever will come to power, if they need men to go to court to exonerate themselves. But one of my arguments, nobody ever saw to prove that, we saw Louis Brown, they said, he had gone. But nobody can produce any evidence to link him to that. But they were bashing the ANC that the ANC had taken someone who fought for Charles Taylor. Now, the question that I posed to the United Party people. Who is Jeremiah Kuhn? Jeremiah Kuhn is a producer of Prince Johnson. He and Prince Johnson come from the same party. Prince Johnson was one who made him party chairman. He said he resigned and put Jeremiah Kuhn there. Where they had a convention, I don't know the party number, the size of the party, I don't know. But he put Jeremiah Kuhn there as chairman of the party. Jeremiah Kuhn as party chairman of Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson said that he announced that he was going to support Joseph BOAKAI. He announced that the number 2 rescue 2 will come from Nima County. And who came from Nima County? Jeremiah Kuhn. Who is Jeremiah Kuhn to Prince Johnson? From the same party, he made him senator. He made him chairman of the party. So how can you detach Jeremiah Kuhn from Prince Johnson? But today I see the folks arguing. They're not calling Prince Johnson warlord again. When Prince Johnson was in the camp of George Weah, the very United people call him warlords. Today he's with Joseph BOAKAI, he's a clean man. This is the double standard we're talking about. When the people are not in your camp, you call their name. When they come to you, oh, they are clean as sin. But I'm seeing that Omen BOAKAI will have to answer. And I want to see them navigating this ship here. How can he detach himself from Prince Johnson? What assurance that the Liberian people have that the war and economic crime code will come now, when they were the same people who are beating the drum that Prince Johnson was warlord? I have said it, yes. I accuse Prince Johnson, but I say you have to have a day in court. The United Party now seems today to us, to some of us, that Prince Johnson never did anything because he's supporting Joseph BOAKAI now. And how can you detach Jeremiah Kuhn from from Prince Johnson, from the same party? He made him senator. He made him party chairman. Now he hijacked the United Party, brought in Jeremiah Kuhn, which is Honorable BOAKAI right to pick whoever he wants to. But the question is, how now can he detach Jeremiah Kuhn from Prince Johnson? I want to see that press conference. And
somebody asked him a question.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I wonder, is this man the son of Peter Amos George?
No, I'm not really. No, I'm not.
You know who Peter Amos George is, right?
Now the reverend of the Baptist Church from Riverside.
No, that's the guy that the Congo man used to live in Corway.
Peter Amos George. Listen, something to Peter Amos George. I was the reverend. He was reverend of the Baptist Church. His son, they call him Peter Amos George, used to work with ERBC.
No, I mean Peter Amos George. They're talking about. I think it's a man from Corway. The man with the two big 2-story building on your way when you go to Corway that time. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The Peter Amos George.
Are you the Peter Amos George?
No, connect. Let me go to
Sissy, I know you've been listening.
The George from Bon County, please.
Sissy, I know you've been listening. What do you make of my tabata here this evening?
Well, it's a good thing you call it tabata before I did. And I think Pastor George just joined you in drinking the apple soup that got no salt in it.
No. Are you coming out with local solidarity here? Are you coming here tonight with local solidarity?
Trying to make the point about trying to draw a line between.
What happened? Go ahead. Sissy, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, my computer decided to play music. You heard my voice. I thought I was requesting for some song to play. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Because you're getting ready. I don't blame our computer. Sure, the computer know you're trying to do something. There we go.
Uncle calling him. Uncle said, "Don't talk."
The computer know that you're getting ready to come up with some sort of a local solidarity here tonight. You not run away.
You come back.
You come back, of course.
Yeah.
All right. I will bring him back on that. But let's go to my second tabata here then, which is why are we why are we so wicked to ourselves like this?
Mr. George. What you mean by that?
Mr. George, I mean, and I don't want to blame a specific administration, specific group, or it seemed like all of us, we have the opportunity. The white people feel sorry for us, they give us money, but we don't use it to benefit our brothers and sisters. We use it on ourselves. You got people, as I was saying, you got people that live in Liberia, but they're making $15,000 a month. They don't have, many of them don't have mortgages to pay. They don't have car notes. They don't have much. Why are you making that much money?
Well, this is the thing that I believe our candidate continue to speak about, Mr. Cummings. We have consistently say this thing. That's what I call highway robbery. Why we cannot sit down and make a complete economic study of Liberia, what it costs for somebody to live in Liberia. And we all know, none of these senators paying $500 for rent. None of them. All the government officials, minister, everybody got free gas. People, housemates to work for them, drivers. So why would someone be taking $10,000, $15,000 home? Why? Why? In countries like Liberia, Ghana, people in parliament make $3,000 to $4,000, $3,000. The last time I checked was $3,500. People in Ghana parliament were making 2 cars, a driver, and a mate. Their salary was $3,500 the last time I checked, or that was last year or so. Minister in Ghana makes about $5,000 some more dollars. People in parliament, the last time I checked, it was $3,500. 2 cars, a mate, and a driver. Compared to Liberia, and Ghana economy is far higher now, GDP, 5 or 6 times Liberia. But local Liberia, a minister taking home, they say 10, 15. People in parliament make about 15 at a time. Why are you sucking that kind of money out of the country? It's not Joy we are town. You are in parliament during any time. They all got the same benefit. Came to his regime, the same thing continue. Who will have the backbone to stand up to these people and say, no, we have to look at this thing realistically. The cost of living in Liberia, if the average man, according to the UN, can survive on $150 a day, a minister, why should he take 5,000 gas, cars, 3, 4 people to say they are domestic employee? And when you check, it's also so now they ain't got nobody there. But they're collecting all the benefit. And look at what is happening in the country, the bulk of the people. What happened? The total white force, government white force, Liberia maybe is 85,000. So what happened to the 4.7 million people? The point here is we're doing this thing. Then the foreigners, people, our partner, telling us this is how people are dysfunctional. I mean, but we still go, we lift our heads and we say we are proud people. But as you say, I support you. We are wicked. And these are the things some are talkable. Because if you are concerned about your fellow men, why would you be taking that kind of money? And the children, they themselves cannot find food to eat. And Mr. So, this is what I always say. I say, because of the poverty in Liberia, the children now have become the breadwinner. Now, I said, when the children become breadwinner, their parents have no more control over them. Because the 16-year-old is going off to your daughter. She go and bring $5 home, and that $5 got to buy food. What is the grand you're going to tell her? That don't go to this place. She will tell you, say, the $5 brought yesterday, and that's what you eat. So when this kind of thing happen in the country, it reduces parents into abject poverty. And the children become the breadwinner. And when the children become the breadwinner, the parents got no more control over them.
Okay. Let me bring Sister in. Let me bring Sister. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were getting ready to start here.
Yeah. I was saying something, and then my computer got smarter than me, and it thought I give it an order to play a music. So it just turned me off and started playing music for me. But I listened to my pap Josh trying to walk the line about the choice of Jeremiah Cohn. And somehow, instead of judging Jeremiah Cohn on his own merits, it seems you got nothing, so you got to run to the boogeyman in the back. Oh. And I think this is a problem. I think what we ought to be able to do. I still am not campaigning for Joseph Boakai. I'm still campaigning for Tewa Gonglo, and I still think that Gonglo still stands the best chance to move Liberia out of all of the things the liberals talked about. But if I'm going to critique any candidate, I'm going to critique them on their own merits and demerits. I'm not going to go judging somebody based on who I think is in the background. And look, let's be very fair. The Alexander Cummings that you hear pushing about is when he picked Louis Brown, we all said this. Y'all, the same people saying, Alexander Cummings said, anybody that come on my team, at the end of the day, they will still have to answer.
I said it just now.
So then why you can't wait? And we'll let Coons then gain power and see if they too will not say that other people got to answer their own question. What makes you think that Alexander Cummings got more fortitude and more uprightness than Jeremiah Coon to say he will allow the war crime code, even though he brought people that have been accused of participating in the war, and Jeremiah Coon is not able to do that. I think
Jeremiah Coon has not addressed the issue.
The issue is not, man, it's just being brought up. So Cummings has been running for what? How many years? So he does.
And Joseph Boakai, has not even addressed that.
The point here is Cummings addressed that issue.
Let's do one at a time, Mr. George, please.
Cummings addressed that issue, but yet he went into a collaboration with the likes of Benin Ayure. So what was he going to do with that? And you can't talk about that now because that marriage failed. You see, this is the hypocrisy that we got to stop.
No, it's not hypocrisy.
Mr. George, hold on, Mr. George, let him make his point. You will respond, please.
It is a hypocrisy because if you are accusing Jeremiah Coon, and say, well, I got nothing to judge this man about, because what I would have hoped we'd be doing is look at his legislative agenda, what he's voted on, what he has voted against, how many bills he's proffered, and what was his ability in the Senate. And then talk about his ability in the House of Representatives. And look at this man on his own merits. Instead of saying, oh, because he comes from this political party, therefore we got a problem with him. When in fact, this CPP that broke apart went into a political collaboration with a family, not even a political party, a family, right? The UA camp. It's a family, it's not a political party. And Cummings was willing to walk around with UA, shake UA hand, raise his hands. And nobody in the ANC said, oh, this is the death of the war crimes code. We all said, and we listened to you say that what Cummings said, whoever raises his hand when the war crime code comes, everybody will appear and they will have to answer for themselves. So let's do the same thing. Let's judge Jeremiah Coon. For me, I'm still doing research. I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm still reading on him to be able to come out and talk about whether he is the best choice to be next to Joseph Boakai, that we know because of so many things that we believe he's one heartbeat away from the presidency. I think that's the conversation we should have, and that would be fair to the Liberian people. But to come here and try to make it look like to say somehow Cummings got a fortitude because he spoke about something, and Jeremiah Coon does not have the fortitude because he hasn't spoken about it, I think is pure just being unfair to the Liberian.
Let's get Mr. George to respond, then we can move on to the other subject.
I never came here and said Cummings was a sin. For me, nobody's a sin, and I would not turn Cummings to be a sin. You was talking about the marriage. Yeah, it was something that went in, but what the outcome? They broke away. Mr. Ure took Alexander Cummings to court, along with Joseph Boakai. The case was thrown out of court based on no merit. The United Party people were on this platform saying that Louis Brown is a warlord. I said, that is an allegation. I said it. I said, that is an allegation. They seem to go for Prince Johnson. But you cannot detach Jeremiah Coon from Prince Johnson. If you say that a horse party or a family thing, then what's about Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Coon?
He had more votes than
Yo, hold on. Somebody just wrote. Hold on. Let me ask this guy. Riva George, you said you're the grandson. Is that the same Amos A. George that used to live in Corway? Please answer that for me, please. Go ahead. Okay, let me ask Sese one other question. Sese, I was on here after I left I've been asking them to say they have to take the lead, they have to bring people on board, but they need to take the lead and tell us we will follow. That's been my comment. But I'm pleading with them to take the lead. Ambassador Barker should not sit down on this one. He shouldn't allow people to improvise. He shouldn't allow people to write story that then he's gonna have to be in a defensive mode. He has to put something out there that we, the supporters, will try to take up and try to improvise on that. But let me go on to this other company, and you can respond to that if you want. Anyway, you know what to do. I don't have to tell you. But let me ask you this. The idea of me saying that it seemed to me that we're very wicked to one another. The fact that Liberia, you live in Liberia, but you want to live like somebody living in the United States, making $15,000 a month in Liberia, when most likely you have no mortgage, you have no car notes, you have none of those stuff that you have no light bills, you have no water bill, and all the kind of, well, you got light bill, but I'm not too sure about water bill. So what do you make of that as well? You think that's tabata as well?
Well, no. So I think, and that was one of the first question was what I was actually going to open up with, because I heard Pat Josh come out here and try to give credit to Alexander Cummings' speech today. That Cummings is the only person that's called for people to come together. I don't think Pat Josh listened to the entire Unity Party thing when they roll out their VP, because there were so many calls for opposition unity. So many. Let me even quote the guy who is still a member of the ANC the last time I checked, Yeke Kolba. Yeke Kolba's speech on the dais actually call on.
Yeke Kolba said he resigned from the ANC.
As far as I know. So I don't know. I guess nobody carries card around for any of the political parties anymore. But Yeke Kolba was on their platform calling on Omer Boakai so many times and say, don't listen to people that tell you say you've won this election. You have not won this election. You need to reach out to other people. You need to bring everybody on board. Listen,
he even called ANC.
Yes, he did. He called everybody. And Pat Josh, it was not fair to say that Omer Boakai did not call for opposition unity for Puerto Rico. That is not true. He listened back to Mr. Boakai, to Omer Boakai's speech. He called for that. So we can come here and disagree with Omer Boakai. We can come here and disagree with Jeremiah Kuhn, but we have to be fair.
I didn't listen to that portion. What I listened to is what I'm speaking about.
You said he didn't say it. You said
I didn't hear he said the point I didn't hear he said. I didn't go back to read one
context, Mr. George. You should have said the part I listened to. You didn't say that, but you didn't say that.
Say this is not one of your classroom. You should have said that's not. This is not. Let's keep the teaching. Let's keep the teaching on the northern politician. But go ahead, make a statement about me saying
on the issue of cost of living in Liberia. I think it's devilish. I think it's satanic. I think it's abhorrent. That
hold on 1 minute, Cesar, please. All right, Mr. George, Rivas, George, thank you very much for the response. I appreciate it. So go ahead, Cesar. Go ahead, finish your statement, please.
I think for people to be living, according to Madame Salif, opulent lifestyle at the detriment of the masses. And yet those same people get up in the morning on Fridays and go to the mosque, or on Sundays and go to churches and pray. I think it's devilish. It's wrong. And that is not a tabata by any means. Right? So this exuberance that somehow, if people around my house don't come and line up in the morning to beg me for their daily bread, then I have not made it. I think I don't know where that mindset came from for us. I don't know how we get rid of that. But for some people, that is how you show that you've arrived, right? When you live in a neighborhood that almost all of your neighbors are impoverished, they gotta come to you and call you boss made the money. My children ain't EU, my children ain't going to school, and you can drive past them in an air-conditioned car. I guess that shows that you've arrived. That is a mindset that needs to be shifted, that needs to be changed. But we have to be fair. People that I support in the House of Representatives, people that I'm going to endorse in this election, I'm going to hold their feet to the fires if they vote for opulence. I think that's where we start from. Look, we cannot always put everything on the executive. Yes, the executive is corrupt as whatever, but there are people in the first branch of government that needs to be held accountable so that they can hold a rope, let a rope start hauling bush. But to answer your question, it is just devilish that people have to live in some people spend on a beer table what other people need for their children to get surgery to live. I think it's wrong, especially in the country where we say we are very religious and spiritual people.
Okay. All right, let me put a number. Let me, Mr. George, go ahead. But let me put a
just
number
ask
up.
him though. Let me just ask him what sister said. And the legislature, they set their own budget. They set their own budget. And to say the executive one that was setting the budget for these people, no. But these people set their own budget. They gave themselves raises and they leave seven out. That's how cruel which of these people are. And when you ask them, oh, we make expenses, we have to go to our constituency. But what is your role? What are you doing to stop people from coming to you? What you can do is by creating policy that will empower these people, put money, allocate money for government school to improve the schools. So people will not have to decide between me and sending the children to private school. That is the policy you do. Then nobody will come to your door to ask for school fees. If you create a condition that these people will be able to strive for themselves, who is the person in the rightful mind will get the money to go sit down to someone to earn the money? A man who knows himself. But the thing they have created, time and now, they're certain to create people to depend on them. That is the kind of policy they have created. That these people will always look up to us as a means of survival for them. So in that case, what you come and tell people, your word is gospel to them. Nobody can challenge you. My man, if you talk to that man tomorrow, he will not pay your child school fee. That is the kind of condition.
Because the crowd just saw the real fire.
Yes. Akaya Gray called on that Joy William fire this man because he went to attend a political rally.
So, Mr. George, let me add up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about Jeremiah Coon, you see, for me, this is where I'm doing my research. I'm trying to find out what has been Jeremiah Coon's role in this exorbitant increase in their salaries and benefits. What was his role on their failed attempt at trying to give themselves huge packages for retirement? What has been his role on education? His 9 children he got, which school does he send them to? How comparable is the public school around his house to the school he sends his kids to?
I think your own Ways and Means Committee in the House of Representatives here. I said checking on your own Ways and Means Committee in the House.
There you go. So those are the things for me I want us to discuss, because then we can tie that to his neck directly and say, yo, if these are the decisions you made with so little in the House of Representatives, why would we want to entrust you with so much as vice president if you couldn't even make qualified decisions? For me, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not worried about the Prince Johnson thing. I need to hold him accountable to Jeremiah Coon himself.
Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? Who are you?
Who are what?
Yeah, who are you?
Look, you guys must be joking.
Who is this caller? The caller can say the name, we should hang up on
him. He will not call a Neo. He will not call a Neo.
We should hang up on him.
This is Alfonso Soul, and I know you're going to flip out right now.
No. What? Alfonso, where your title? Where your title? What? Something to ask him for his title.
What's your title on LPR?
Hold on. I don't have title. I'm a caller this evening. Look, you guys must be a joker, and you think running a country is a little thing yet. You want to question the president's ability as to why he fired the Minister of Post and Telecommunications?
Nobody questioning that. Nobody questioning that.
You frown on that, and
I frown on it.
You did not call him to attention. Let's say you can shake your head. You can look. You serve as the will and pleasure of the president. You need to go back to history. Why Turbo even fired George Bulley? You need to look at the history why Donald Trump fired Rex Tillerson. You need to go back to history why Samuel Doe fired Alhaji Kromah. What are you guys talking? Look, if the president had not taken that action, I was going to be the first person to call on the president that he's weak, he's unable.
But do you think?
Wait, Mr. Toll, wait.
Did Rex Tillerson go to a Democratic convention?
Yeah, exactly.
He signed a contract in absence. No, listen, that's what he signed a contract without the consent of the president.
But that was not the same thing. That is not the same thing. This was a political stuff.
Because he's not serving at the will of
that is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. It's two different things.
And I'm going to expand. And I know you're not going to give me a chance. You're going to hijack me here tonight.
No, we're not going to hijack you.
Expand on that. Why Ellis Kuman fired when he said Asif Atoba?
Atoba didn't go to a different political party.
He did something.
It's not the same thing.
Just tell me.
It's not the same thing. The Better Boy and Pepper you comparing.
Let me tell you.
You want to say the president has a right.
No, Mr. So
that picture was wide enough for the president to fire him. He allowed
what law? You cannot go to a political party convention.
You want to sit down and can't go back there?
That was Mr. So that was your conservative idea. It's not going to work anymore in Liberia.
Let him finish first. Let him finish.
Why was Scarborough removed from the Congress?
Mr. So the first thing nobody's saying the president don't have the right to do that. The point is
the president fired this. What point? There is no point. Period.
No.
You see that?
He's not part of the
collaboration. Nobody idea matter. They just a conservative idea, or it doesn't matter. All right, you're done. When we meet on Wednesday, you bring that. We'll chew you apart. Don't try.
You're not coming on Wednesday. Forget it.
Okay.
So you telling the man?
Of course, he gonna fire me now too because
yeah.
You forget letting.
No, you got to let the man. There's a public station.
Me, my hand is out. Mr. So I said nothing. I don't fire
you. There's a public station.
Coming on Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, let me take this other caller, guys. All right, okay.
We'll take the medical.
Samson to LIBERIA Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. Tool, this is Ruvia George.
Okay, all right, George. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. Go ahead, make your point, my brother.
Yeah, I want Mr. George a question in regards to Prince Johnson.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know whether the motives or his own Prince Johnson because this alleged sanction or they sanctioned him and it said that we should not do business with him.
Can you lower your monitor, please?
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I will take Mr. George. Will take your question and then he marking it. What do you say your question was again?
Yeah,
Mr. George, write it.
Regarding Prince Johnson.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, because Prince Johnson is advocating for Jeremiah Coon. It means that BOAKA is in bed with Prince Johnson. Okay. So I think I'll make a comment over there. I make a comment in the sense that Louis Brown, since Louis Brown is on board, so it means that Alexander Cummings is in bed with Chuck Taylor.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. George, you wrote that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
So what I want to say, I want to just emphasize on the Prince Johnson something here.
Okay, go ahead. Make it brief.
I think based on the sanction, and it said that we shouldn't do business with Prince Johnson. I think he also a citizen for a country, and he has the right to take anyone a good leader for his country.
Okay.
He has the right to do that. And then I'm doing that same Prince Johnson. No, that Alexander Cummings BOAKA is dealing with, not with Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson got a right to talk.
Okay.
If there's an extension here, the whole president, look at the president of the Republic of Liberia doing business with Prince Johnson. He's still senator. Okay. What do you say, Mr. George?
All right, thank you.
We are not doing business with him. The entire country is doing business with him still.
Okay.
So what that notion of the BOAKA doing business with this man?
All right, Mr. George, thank you. Thank you. We'll take your question.
Stop, man.
Okay,
Stop,
thank you.
stop.
Thank you, my brother. Okay. Mr. George, let me take the other caller. And I number 9 we're calling here, but I think he's gone again. Let's see if he come back. Mr. George,
Yeah.
can you make it brief?
I
And
mean,
get prepared. Be
yes,
prepared. Okay.
it's just brief.
Okay, go ahead.
Today, he said Prince Johnson is a citizen of Denmark, which I cannot deny. I can tell he's from there. But when the U.S. government sanctioned Natanya Mange, 3 ministers and other officials from the CTC government, we all came and said these people must be fired and prosecuted. If we can say that about Natanya Mange, Serena Seaforth, and this other guy, Bill Traveley, so what is the difference? When Prince Johnson had been sanctioned by the U.S. government, why is it that we will say Prince Johnson is okay, but he says that he can do business, but Natanya Mange, Serena Seaforth, and Bill Traveley cannot do business? Why
All right, let me take this other caller now.
Why we're calling for them to be prosecuted? And the very United States government said that
just hold on 1 minute.
they don't want these people doing business with anybody. Business with anybody, they said it. So why that cannot be applied to Prince Johnson, but it can only be applied to people from the way government?
All right. Okay. All right, let me take this other caller. Caller, just hold on 1 minute. I number 9, just hold on 1 minute. Caller, are you there? Hey, Ambrose. Hello? Hello? Ambrose, are you there? Okay, hold on. I think he is, but okay, my fault. Hold on, guys. Just hold on. Okay, Ambrose, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, and then I'll bring in IE number 9. Go ahead.
You probably could have given people not getting IE number 9.
I want to ask you.
Yeah, but please speak into the phone because your voice is very low.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
You gotta try. Okay, go ahead. Let me make my. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I got one question for you. I got one question for Pa George.
Okay.
Where in on this earth or in this world, when people publicly oppose to you, defy you, and go to another activity, the individual in question, he's just not an ordinary person. He's a party chairman. And first of all, I think he never did the honorable thing. If you feel that you want to go with Prince Johnson anywhere, and you work in a government that you disagree with, you should do the honorable thing and resign. Where in the world we have an opposition government, and they still serving in that position that they occupy?
Okay. All right. What's Mr. George's question?
I forget.
Okay. All right.
Okay, no. Okay, I get it. The question I got from Mr. George, you have a couple of people in his party that work in the Senate and work as a representative. Why they don't take issue with them and say, hey, why you're passing all these bylaws in Liberia? Because the party chairman is a senator. He get vouchers in the house. They are senators. And all a couple of guys that are associated with them, that they are senators and lawmakers. So if we're going to start complaining, say lawmakers are making so much money, and which I agree is very wicked and they are evil.
Okay.
But why they never discipline them?
All right.
Or release them from their parties?
Okay, we'll answer that. Thank you. Let me take Aaron, go ahead.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening. We got yellow behind us here, so I think that should make your day.
Yeah, it already made my day. For the correction, Mr. Toll, I was a midfielder, not a striker.
Well, all IE players are calling number 9.
Number 9.
Okay. So a couple of points I want to make here. First of all, let me start with Mr. Soul. Okay, that if you're a government minister, you work at the will and pleasure of the president. Okay? Ain't nowhere in the world, even the great United States, that presidents keep people in position from opposition party. Nowhere in the world. So let's get that straight. Number two, look, George Weah is a very nice president. Okay? George Weah said it loud and clear. Prince Johnson went around and claimed that the president didn't give people from Nevada County good position. The position that he gave the party chairman was just post and telecommunication. Why quarrel about that when the president fired him now? Why do you want to make issue of it? It's not a good position, right? Politics is interest. Is that you can laugh or you want to laugh. Politics is interest. Okay, today you're supporting Kevin Gonglo. If Kevin Gonglo doesn't make you education minister, I know you have a problem with that. I know you have a problem with that, my friend and brother. You know, you're my good friend and brother. The same thing goes to Mr. George. Okay, everybody you see supporting all the surrogates you see around. They're all doing it because of interest. Everybody wants job in the government. Okay.
So IE number nine. Let me ask you this. IE number 9. Let me ask you this. Yeah. So the way the president now fired the man, is it vindictive? Can we contribute that to be?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
What I would say to that is, you know, if you're in a collaboration, like the oracle just said, and you want to leave, do the honorable thing. Leave with all your people. Don't be like spider. Don't be eating so. If you eating so, then when all your waist cost, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be eating so. If you eating so.
Yeah. We they see this business. We in trouble. I can't wait for Ambassador Baga to win, so y'all can get out of our faces. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me
all right. Just give me 1 second. Yes. You see what happened today to the people in our audience with the podcast today? You saw what happened to them? Now the people from Liberty Party, these that go all spoon talk today. He recognized Musa ability now as a chairman. But first he was the starter coach chairman, right? But now he got nowhere to go. So it's like hanging on a tree and the branch will fall. So he got to find somewhere now to go. So we can't be doing this thing, okay? If I support you all the way. Whether you going to the ground, I'm going to the ground with you. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Guys for the show.
Okay, thank you.
Does it want to respond for us? Or let me respond.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. Just mark it down. We'll soon be coming to that. I'm closing this is the last caller here. Hello, caller. Hello. Hold on, guys. Okay. Hello, callers. Okay, let me drop April. All right, go ahead, caller. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? You'll be the last caller.
Yeah, Mr. Joe, this is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Oh, Elvis, how you doing, Chief?
I'm good. And hello to Mr. Goya and Pa George. I wanted to ask this question specifically for Pa George because I think he's the on the platform. I want to know if he thinks that, you know, Alex Comey should be a catalyst for reconciliation between Yombli Kanga Lawrence and Musa Ability so that she can come back home, so to speak, to her political party, and maybe he can consider her for a vice presidential pick.
I don't mean to interrupt though, but I think the points you're just making, that's most likely what's going to happen, because now Comey most likely feel that these people have been hurt, and so by trying to play on their I'm not going to say weak mind, but hurtful mind, then perhaps they will come back to reconcile with Musa Ability and try to put themselves together to be relevant. So I think I'm just speculating. But go ahead, finish your statement, then Mr. George, and since they can pick it up.
Yeah, quickly. The thing about it is what I'm looking at is time. You know, he got to be it has to be expedient. It has to be something that he, I think this will be kind of a coup if he can do this, because I think that takes away a large portion of the bilateral vote from boycott, and Mr. Combs can be back in the ball game. I think becomes more relevant. Maybe fight for a strong third place, or maybe even a surprise second place to go second round. So I don't know if what George think with all his expert analysis. Hopefully he can give us some insight on that situation. But thank you for taking my call. I just want
Thank you. Folks. That's the last caller. I want to thank all of you that have been calling. Thank you. Mr. George, take it, and then Sissy can close it for us.
Oh, okay.
They may get plenty of questions to ask you. Let me just talk about why leave the rest of the time with him because all the questions were for him.
No, stay and close it. Sissy, stay and close it. No. Go ahead, Mr. George. Let's just stay and close it. I want you to stay and close it. No, Mr. George, go ahead and close it. I mean, Sissy will close it for us. Go ahead.
I may feel. Let me go to the last caller first. Yes.
But Sissy, do you have to be somewhere? You say?
Oh no, I'm in my house already.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead, Mr. George.
Yeah, let me just start with the last caller. Yes, Mr. Comey definitely will extend an olive branch to Nyomli Kanga, the party, and Mr. Blair to work together to bring the party back together. So that is something I know that I have not spoken to anybody from inside, but I believe Mr. Comey will definitely be looking in that direction, and other people around the Liberty Party and the ANC. But the IE Mayfield, let me tell him this.
IE number 9, please.
Okay, that you need to get it, man. Number 9. You see, you accusing us, Mr. Sissy, if Gongo win, the support is for him to become education minister. Sissy will fight his own battle. But you saying you supporting Joe, we are so we say you supporting Joe, we have to get position. This is what some of you people fail to understand. I said I support Mr. Comey because of his policy.
You gotta wait now.
You want to take Liberia. That's all. I want a better country that I can work. Not to work for
Mr. George, can you please help us out here? Just hold your thought, please. Okay. There's a lady here. She says she got something important she want to share with us. Go ahead, madam. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, what's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Justina Gatti.
Okay.
My contribution is this. Don't you guys think that Cummings now trying to talk to Nyomli Kanga to try to bring Nyomli Kanga on board, is that not hypocrisy? In case BOAKA was not going to pick someone that made Nyomli then to feel disenchanted, was he ever going to think of reconciling Nyomli Kanga after humiliating the woman through what he did through Musability? I was a strong ANC partisan, but these are all the reasons why I left the ANC. And gentlemen, we gotta be earnest to ourselves. If you tell somebody, say you don't want to be bothered with them, you don't want to be bothered with them. You don't ill-treat somebody, you don't humiliate the woman in her own party. Support the party chairman to humiliate that woman to the lowest level. And then now, because you think Nyomli and BOAKA having issues, now you want to behave as if to say you love Nyomli. If I were Nyomli, I would rather remain senator.
Hey God, you're not Nyomli. Hey God, madam, you're not Nyomli.
Is she done?
She's really upset.
Yeah, you know.
But John, let me go to my co-class and listen to you. Can get plenty of questions to answer. You get plenty of explaining to do.
Let me say to Mr. So and to the lady there. Look, I understand her feelings.
Oh my goodness.
I think she called him back.
One more. Liberian Public Radio, Samson Toe. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hello, my name is Koto Balayan, calling from New York. New Jersey.
Mr. George said you want call you.
I've been calling for ever since the launch. Just wait, I get you.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Now we know the show is coming to be over now. Go ahead. Close it up for us.
Yeah, Pa George. Hello. How you doing, Mr. Sissy? How you doing? Before Pa George come and start fussing with me again.
Oh, they forcing business that good thing because Pa George first you call his hello first. Okay, I said to her, be forcing her next time.
Kodo, how you doing, my sister?
Man, I have this issue with this what they are saying that Mr. Comey now will be coming to reconcile or to go to Nyomli to apologize to Nyomli or to reunite them. Is it now that he's going to reunite with Nyomli?
Let me
about it is this. He disrespected Yomli, knowing that they all were at the same level as party head. They were all party heads at the time. He disrespected Yomli and went to the party headquarters and did not stop there. He made sure he destabilized the whole party that today that have led, even if that's the reason why in fight, the old man could not even take Yomli because of the conflict that have been in the party. So they just went there to destabilize the Liberty Party and then come now today. He said he wants to reconcile with Yomli. I think
but Kotu, you being an insider, so to speak. I think to take that position, knowing fully well that you will be needing these people helps you in case it comes to that. I think we should all take the position of reconciling with each other so that we'll be one in the same boat.
Exactly, we are reconciling.
No, Mr. So let me push back. Let me push back on Kotu seriously.
Then he's going to take her now as a
Okay.
VP.
No. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let Mr. Josh.
Say this last one before I go. I'm sorry. Let me just say the last one.
Okay. Go ahead.
I heard Mr. Soul talking about the president has the right of dismissing the post and telecommunication minister. Let me say this. When Ellen was in power, they have ministers, they have directors. I mean, they have every seditious that were there working in the Ellen government. And they used to go to various political activities and had their activities going on there. And even in various ministries, they used to carry on their campaign. Some of us who were doing business at the time, they used to come to us, oh, you people will, will have argument with them, will joke with them and things. Why today that they empower only citizens can be in government, and they do not allow other people. So the whole of Liberia now is only citizens are there that are supposed to work in the government.
Okay.
No other partisans supposed to work in government.
All right.
And this is why we're going to make them 110.
Okay. Thank you.
Government. Let me just say that. Thank you so much, Mr. Tu.
Thank you. And that particular comment going to Mr. Soul. So I'm not too sure if you classify Mr. Soul to be a sedition here tonight, but we'll deal with that Wednesday. Thank you.
He's talking for sedition, so.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. I will not take any more calls. Mr. Judge, please.
Let me just say.
Let me get brief so they can close it for her, please.
Let me just say
over time.
Let me just say to these people, because people quote the misquote people. It was the gentleman who asked the question: would Mr. Comey try to unify Yomli Kanga and the Liberty Party with Belleville? I said that would be a good thing in the direction. I did not say that Comey is going to beg Yomli Kanga. No. But Scott, let me say something to you. I do not know what you mean by disrespected the person. He was the person that created the problem. He was the one that caused Honorable Boaka not taking Yomli Kanga. That's the thing people want to run with. It is wrong. Honorable Boaka decided to pick who he chose. It was not based on that condition. That except Kodo can come and prove to me, say, because what about the court issue that Yomli Kanga had that was stopping her or that would stop her from Honorable Boaka not nominating her? She went to the court. The court ruled. She was not held in contempt. She had not committed no crime. So what is it that you come to link that to say it was because of the court business that Honorable Boaka did not nominate her? That is a poor excuse. Okay, you are the same person who came here and said that.
The next one.
Okay, let me just leave that one. But let me say this to the IE player. He said all around the world, no opposition can work in any government. But let me take him back to Barack Obama. He kept James Comey as CIA director, FBI director. He kept
Gates,
who was defense secretary. Most of the ambassadors left in the post.
What's Joe Biden Cohn from I think Cohn is from
all the Republican.
The former
also defense minister.
The former governor of what's the Mormon state?
Utah
was ambassador to China.
To China, yes.
So, and the how to call it, the former congressman from Illinois, Ray LaHood, Secretary of Transportation, Senator George Dredd. from New Hampshire was Commerce Secretary.
So, I man, let us be. We should not confuse our people, because these things are record are there. When you say around the world, no.
And McGill working in government too.
McGill was there, yeah. Assistant director or minister. So, what I was saying, or what we're seeing here,
but the IE man, you say he's a barrow man, you are playing for IE. What the big deal about
that? But not getting good. The uptake. This man had worked serving as Minister of Postal Affairs. If John we are just got and fired, nobody will question him. But Akaya Gray made a post demanding that person we have fired that man because he attended the program of his party. And the person acted upon it. So that way you come out, it's like a malice division you are sowing in the country. A person where we have fired that man last week before the program, I would not have nothing to say.
Okay. All right, let's have.
Can I come here and tell us all this, and I make them to justify that?
IE number 9. IE number 9, no, please.
I give all to you, man.
Okay, say IE number 9.
There's a part they say you want to be minister, so me I'm going to street my flow. I want to be office boy in station office. That all me I want.
I don't think that office would last long. Even the deck will run away quick.
Oh man, Mr. So why you just talking about force then?
That's just closer for us.
So, but on a serious note, I know my brother Aaron Pablo was just joking about the minister's thing. So, but you know, let me say this, and I think Mr. So came in very hard. I don't think he understood what I was trying to say. Cabinet officials, presidential appointees, serve at the behest of the president. President get on one morning, he had a bad dream about you. He can recall you. He can ask you to leave. He can ask you to resign. That is the right of the president. Now, again, I keep saying on this platform, just because something is your right doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to do most of the time. Nobody can question the president's authority to fire his cabinet minister. He nominated him. He can fire him. That's his right. And there are two sides to this. The minister, I listened to one of the caller, and the caller struck the point very clearly. The minister, knowing that this collaboration that brought his political party and into the CDC into governance, which was the reason he had the ministerial position. If now he believes that there is a divergence between his political party and the ruling establishment on the way forward for Liberia, and he believes that his party is going another way with another political establishment because they believe in the vision that new political establishment provides, and he believes that this current arrangement is not working, the most honorable thing you should have done was not to force the president to fire him. You should have resigned his position. I think he forced the president's hands to fire him, and I think it was wrong. He should have just resigned his position and went about his business. Now, the fact that he didn't resign his position, here is where Akara's great, and the Liberal can always say they will keep putting their foot in their mouth. Akara's great. You have access to authority, a lot of access to authority. Facebook is not where you come to force the hands of the president. Yeah, my brother. This is where you use the party channel. You go behind the scene and you do the thing, Lord, Mr. President. You saw that man picture. Yeah, my man, let man move, let man move. The president call for the man to resign. All the president got to do just call it, man, my man, write a letter of resignation. Let man resign, move. Nobody care what happened in the back, what ain't happening in the ground. The whole optics, it would not be what we're discussing here today. Now we are here discussing the president's right. Right? We should never be discussing that. It is his right to recall his minister. It's his right to fire any minister. But I think Moses Akara's great, my brother, then have to be able to understand how government works. You are so close to power. You wield enormous authority. I think sometimes this Facebook thing, we're trying to show how much authority we got, and I don't think it's a good thing. I think you should have gone behind it saying, yes, if I were president, and I seen one of my ministers appear.
Sister, let me ask you, one of the things that I stated earlier was, even if the president was just to leave him alone, man, pay him no mind and deal directly with his deputy and find out that he's no longer relevant within his government, he was going to be pushed out.
There you go. And that is the thing. You know, sometimes you even keep some people there and you just make them irrelevant, because now here's the conversation. Here's the conversation that they opened up. This is another war front they opened up. You know what Prince Johnson is going to start saying?
Mm-hmm. He started already. He started already.
He went to his people. He went to his people now.
He now start firing the sons of Nimbakante.
Yes.
You don't need those conversations.
That's exactly what he's saying.
What is the relevance of the Minister of Post for Telecommunication? Really, what is the relevance? You keep that man over there, you use his principal deputy, you don't even communicate with him more. He sit on there, he say we get tired. When he not getting a gas, he not getting anything. 4 more months to election. That man, you just leave him alone. Sometimes it's okay to just leave people in their suffering, let them just bleed inside. But and this was a pressure, an unnecessary pressure brought on by Moses Zacharias Gray, because other seditionists now started pushing the idea, and it became a pressure. Moses Zacharias Gray should have used backdoor channel. Nobody's saying it's not the president's right, but I think the way he did it, the way Moses Zacharias Gray did it, created a problem. Yeah, it created a problem. But the president has the right to fire any minister or government he wants.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Sise. I really appreciate you guys coming on, closing this thing for us. Thank you very much. And please, we'll be back here again tomorrow. This time I'll try to make some talk the same subject matter, but this time we'll have to bring some video and things like that. But I want to thank 2 of you tonight, Mr. So. Thank you very much for again. Being classified here as undercover sedition #1. Somebody wrote here, he said, Mr. So is the first Liberian that I've seen who is a true conservative. I've been saying that. But anyway, as I said, thank you and good night to you. Mr. George, thank you and good night as well. All right. Okay, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank all of you. I've been turning in here. Dualo, of course, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're out here. We're way out of time, and I will not say much here, but everything that we've been saying here tonight is not to degrade. We're just having a conversation. You don't have to agree with us, but still be respectful to the process and be respectful to the conversation as well, because we're not being disrespectful. To be honest with you, none of us saying these things are based on jealousy, envious of any position or whatever. These are our own positions, and we have the right to express them freely. And we expect you to allow us to express them freely, while we also allow you to express yours freely. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I'll say good night to all of you, and good night.
C'est au Tiziwema, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as mon bien de moi avec moi, nous on s'en m'a pris. On va bâtir au moins un ou. On t'a dit, t'as mon mouillé. On s'est abattu pour moi, il dit, tu vois, avec la locale. Quand on soit du lot, allez! Why not? Yao, abela lokeyo, mi vito jogbai, mi vito nomba, matis mo peyo. Manager Gigi, ouais peut jamais forcer. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco, il y a 5 de Toyebli. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniche le vieux. Bon, nous doit dire,